Moving on to use number 2 of the 3M Cubitron 775L film back, sticky back sanding discs. And that is to use them as hand pads. There's times where I just need a piece of paper I can hold in my hand and I can smooth an edge. Or like in this situation here, I routed this groove and there's a little fuzz down here. I can take this little hand pad and I can just kind of go in there. I can clean out that fuzz. That works very efficient. So this is simply a disc that I just folded in half upon itself and it turned into a hand pad, and this will last a very long time. Another option is to take a piece of that craft foam from Michaels, that $1 a sheet craft foam, cut it in a circle the same size as your disc and just stick a disc to it. I can hold it in my hand and I can sand and it works quite well. What I did, or you can also take a half sheet. I just took a half circle and then just folded a disc around it. Now I have a nice little profile here. I can sand in a groove, but it also gives me a nice little thing to hold on to and I can sand. I took a piece of that craft foam and I thought if it had a little bit more of a handle, it would be better. And it is. I just took a piece of 3/4 inch elastic and I riveted it on here. And this thing holds really well. You wouldn't think that rivets would hold in here, but this craft foam is tough. I mean, you can't rip this stuff. And so this handle is held on here really well. So now I can just put it in my hand like this. And if I want to sand like this chair rail, I can just sand in here like this and it sands really well and I got a hand pad. I also took a piece of leather, tried that. I got a piece of leather for my leather guy, and this is really nice too because I riveted on some elastic. This is a little stiffer, but it's really, really tough, and I just stick the sanding disc to the smooth side of the leather. This is pretty thick leather. It's probably about, I don't know, 1/4 inch thick. But this is also really, really cool. This works really well. So there's some options for using the 3M 775L film back stick-it disc for hand pads. This is use number 3 for the 3M Cubitron 775L film back stick-it sanding discs. So this use is what I call contour sticks. There's lots of times where I need to sand a contour, like I need to sand inside a cove here, and it's helpful to have sandpaper that can stick to a dowel or something round. And so like this is an example of like a 1/2 inch dowel or 3/8 dowel that I just took a scrap of the sandpaper and just wrapped it around, stuck it to itself. Gives me a nice little tab to hold on to, and I can sand, and it does a great job. Here's a little bit larger one. This is a 3/4 inch dowel. I just took a whole disc and stuck it on there. This fits nicely in this cove, and I can sand it perfectly. If you want to do larger coves, you can do that with using this pipe insulation. This is cheap. It's like $2 for 8 foot, for an 8-foot piece at the hardware store, and I just stuck a 3/4 inch dowel in there. Then I just stuck a disc on the outside of this. This was useful when I was doing raised panel doors, and I was having to do a cove on the raised panel doors. And this is padded, so it helps to kind of accommodate to the wood, different variations in the wood. This is a larger one. This is a walnut dowel in here. It's about 1.5 inches. I wrapped it with that craft foam that I get from Michaels, and I stuck it down with that fast cap speed tape. And this was great when I was trying to do a large piece of molding that I had run on my table saw and had to clean out the saw marks, and this worked fantastic. And I could change grits really quick. I could start like 120 and I could finish out at 220. So you can use this stuff and stick it to about anything. Here's a piece of hose I got from the hardware store. So there's lots of options to wrap around. And so you can accommodate all kinds of coves with these 3M Cubitron film back stick-it discs.